All-Star Circuit of Champions. I'd like to welcome all you race fans and competitors here to tonight's races at the Prime Star Wayne County Speedway. The All-Stars have 73 dates on their schedule for this year. It takes in 14 different states. So far, they have had 9 different winners in the 16 dates that have been completed. And joining the All-Stars as the associate sponsor this year is the United Express Line Custom Trailers and sponsoring the B-Main. So coming in, and we're starting our time trial. He hails out of Burbank, Ohio. He drives the 28P car. That's powered by a 360. It's a Cockrell Trucking sponsor machine of Rod Pittman. First lap for Rod Pittman, 16.217. 16.217 for Rod Pittman coming in on his checker flag lap. Second lap for Pittman, 16.154. So Pittman's official time will be 16.154. Coming out now on the clock, hails out of Fremont, Ohio. He drives the number 8, moving up out of the 360s into the 410s this year. The Clark Oil and the Kears Motorsports sponsor machine of Bobby Clark. First lap for Bobby Clark, 15.449. 15.449. Second lap time picked up the pace at 15.424. Out of Fremont, he drives the number X car. He dominates at Attica Raceway Park. He drives the X car. That is Mark Keegan. Mark Keegan, he holds the track record going back to 1990 at a 15.03. First lap for the X car of Keegan, 15.758. 15.758. Second lap time, 15.659. 15.659. On the clock now in the number 83 car, that is Steve Butler. Steve Butler in the Miller floor. Sponsored number 83. Butler's first lap time, 16.913. 16.913. Again, that's a 360 power plant. On the track now, on the clock, he hails out of Massillon. He drives the number 29 car. It's the race for kids in the Moeller Construction, number 29 of Duffy Smith. First lap time on Duffy Smith, 16.340 for that 360 motor. Marty Link's first lap time, 16.383. 16.383. Second lap time on Link's, 16.783. On the clock now in the number 86 car, that is Dave Shelley. Dave Shelley in the Miller Towing and the sponsor number 86, Dave Shelley. First lap time for Shelley, 16.661. 16.661. Not a whole lot of information on this number 80 car, but I know the driver is Bob Dawson. Bob Dawson in the number 80. He's out of North Olmsted, Ohio. Bob Dawson's first lap time, 16:2.64. 16:2.64. Second lap time on Dawson, 16:2.69. And the number 99 car, that is Alvin Repke. Al Repke in the number 99. Repke in the Rick Trucking sponsored machine. First lap time on Repke, 15:9.61. 15:9.61. Second lap time on Al Repke, 15:9.76. Out of Fremont, Ohio, in the number 2+ car, it is Brian Smith. Brian Smith. Brian Smith battling for the Rookie of the Year in the All-Star Circuit of Champions in 1998. First lap time on the number 2+ car, 16:4.65. 16:4.65 for Brian Smith. Picked up the pace on that second lap to 16:0.87. Out of Holmesville, Ohio, he pilots the Tim Hughes sponsored number 94, the Hughes axle and wheel machine, Kenny Jacobs. Kenny Jacobs turning that lap at 15:4.17. That's fast time for Kenny Jacobs. Kenny Jacobs reeling in some more times, 15:3.14. 15:3.14. That's fast time for Kenny Jacobs. On the track out of Massillon, Ohio, he drives the Ewing Chevrolet Lamborn sign-sponsored 93L, a 360 power plant, one feature win here at Wayne County, Matt Lamborn. And Matt's first lap time, 16:103. 16:103. Off a little bit on that second lap, 16:2.60. The 1997 All-Star Circuit of Champions champion in the Schaff Motorsports number 23S, Frankie Kerr. Frankie Kerr setting the second fastest time at 15:4.63. 15:4.63 for Frankie Kerr. And trimmed that down on that second lap at 15:4.44. From Bloomington, Indiana, he pilots the number 7 car, the Peterbilt of Northwest Ohio. That's Rick Doherty. Prepared machine, Kevin Huntley. And Huntley's first lap time, 15:6.73. 15:6.73 for Kevin Huntley. Huntley's second lap time, 15:8.26. 15:8.6. That is 5th fastest for Kevin Huntley. On the clock now, it is the 18 car of Doug Stanley in the Founders machine. First lap time for Doug Stanley, 16:4.92. 16:4.92. Second lap time a little quicker, 16:4.14. Out of Spring City, Pennsylvania, also chasing that Rookie of the Year award, the number 121 of Judy Bates. Judy Bates. And Judy Bates' first lap time, 16.305. 16.305. Picking the pace up on that second lap. She turns the lap at 15.916. In the Fair Metal sponsored number 11, he hails out of Lodi, Ohio, Bill Underwood. That's also a 360 machine. And Bill Underwood's first lap time, 16.380. 16.380. And Underwood clicks that clock off, second lap of 16.453. Out of Fredericktown, Ohio, in the Heisler's Trucking sponsored number 48, along with the Cockrell Trucking sponsorship, that is Bob Cockrell. Cockrell piloting to 360. Cockrell's first lap time at 17.057. 17.057. Second lap time for Cockrell, 16.780. Also chasing those rookie points out of Orrville, Pennsylvania, the 13 car of Scott Jones. Scott Jones. And Jones's first lap time, 16.624. 16.624. Scott Jones, second lap, 16.253. And in the number 42 car, hails out of Millersburg, Ohio. That is Rob Cheney. Rob Cheney in the number 42. That's the Cheney Motorsports number 42. First lap time on Rob Cheney, 15.944. 15.944. Second lap time is 16.359. 16.359. In the number 15 car out there, that's the Harbo Motorsports, sponsored 15 of Chad Kimenall. Chad Kimenall. Kimenall's first lap time, 15.765. 15.765. Kimenall setting the sixth quickest pace. So his official time will be 15.765 as he clocked that second lap at 15.795. Out of Mansfield, Ohio, in the McIlvain Trucking sponsored number 57. That is George Prosser. George Prosser. And Prosser turning that clock at a 16.097. 16.097 for George Prosser. And Prosser's second lap time, 16.361, so his fastest lap would be his official time, 16.097. Out of Ashland, Ohio, in the Hardman Drilling sponsored 98H car, that is Scott Hardman. Scott Hardman in the 91H. Scott Hardman's first lap time, 17.709. Second lap time for Hardman, 17.786. In the Upper Auto Parts sponsored 11N, it is Ed Neumeister. Ed Neumeister in the Upper Sandusky Young Man, the Upper Auto Parts sponsored number 11N. And Ed's first lap time, 16.303. 16.303. Second lap time, 16.108. 16.108. Out of Rising Sun, Ohio, he pilots the number 28 car. That is Tim Kern. Tim Kern. Sponsored by the DOS PP along with the AutoZone. And Tim Kern turning that clock at a 16.014. 16.014. First lap time on Tim Kern. Kern picking up the pace at a 15.969 his second lap. Number 5 car, that is Brian Markham. Brian Markham in the 5 car, a local young man who competes here every Saturday night in our 360 division. Markham's first lap time is 17.542. 17.542. Second lap time was 17.284. Out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, the United Express Line sponsored U2. Picked up the win here last year during Speed Week. That is Keith Kaufman. Keith Kaufman. And Kaufman's first lap time, 15.417. 15.417. That is second fastest for Keith Kaufman out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania. And still sitting in that second spot, it's Keith Kaufman. His second lap time, 15.347. Out of Millersburg, Ohio, in the Miller's Electric and the Yoder's Market number 24, it's J.B. Scarborough. Scarborough's first lap time, 16.508. 16.508. In the Imperial Packaging, number 92, hails out of Worcester, Ohio, Dean Jacobs. And Dean Jacobs turning the clock at a 15.562. 15.562. That is fifth quickest, with some problems up in turn number 2 and 3. Dean Jacobs' second lap time was 16.817 as he got loose up in 3 and 4. His official time will be 15.562. Out of Brownsburg, Indiana, drives the number 17 car, the Mox Motorsports number 17, Joey Saldana. And Joey Saldana kicking that clock off at 15.302. That's fast time. 15.30. Saldana. His second lap time, 15.494. But the 15.302 sits his fast time this evening. Out of Nevada, Ohio, he drives the number 21. That is Rodney Morgan. Rodney Morgan. First lap time on Morgan, 16.452. 16.452. And second lap time on Rodney Morgan, 16.756. So his official time will be 16.452. The top 5 get automatic transfers out of these heats into the A feature event. Then in the 12-lap B main event, we'll be looking for the top 4. The beautiful Chevrolet Silverado pace truck, the General Motors truck, pulls down into the infield. Watch them as they come out of turn number 4. If you look up to turn 4, you'll see the lime on the road. That's where the race starts. We'll be going 8 laps. You know these gentlemen want that $4,000 top prize here at Prime Star, Wayne County Speedway. And they look them over and the green is out. And Bob Cockrell in turn number 2 off of the racing surface, trying to get the 48 car back up. He's back, but he has got a long ways to go. But up front on lap number 1, it is Scott Jones, that Pennsylvania young man in the number 13, your leader, with Tim Kern in pursuit. And down here in turn numbers 1 and 2, I believe that is the 15 car of Chad Kimenol. And I believe the 17 car of Joey Saldana. That's your fast qualifier tonight. So watch them as they come out of turn 4. That restart will be held right in front of the flag stand at the cone. They'll start accelerating as they come out of turn number 4 on the single file restart. It is Jones up front, Kern, and it is Lamborn, Frankie Kern, Doug Stanley, Bob Cockrell, Joey Saldana, and Chad Kimenol. Coming in on lap number 2, Scott Jones out of Urbana, Pennsylvania, brings them around for that second time with Kern running second. Frankie Kern trying to take over that second spot from Tim Kern going into turn number 3. Kern has to settle for that third spot. Lamborn runs fourth, and it is Kimenol as Doug Stanley and Joey Saldana battle at the back of that field. And there goes the 15 car of Chad Kimenol around. So the caution flag's going to be coming out on lap number 3. Chad Kimenol out of Fremont, Ohio, in the number 15 car. Chad's time in qualifications was 15.765, but having some troubles on the handling of that number 15 machine. So Chad Kimenol out of action, the number 15 car out of Fremont, Ohio, back pit side in the number 15. Watch them as they come down the front straightaway at the cone. That's the restart point. We got 3 down, 5 more remaining. And there goes Frankie Kern getting into that cushion on turn number 2, accelerating past Tim Kern. Watch him. He's trying to reel in Jones as they come down the front straightaway. Kern sits in that second spot, putting Kern back to third, and it is Lamborn, Joey Saldana, Doug Stanley, and Bob Cockrell rounds out the field. Coming in on lap number 5, they'll have 3 more as Frankie tries Jones on the high side and takes over that top spot. He's chasing that points lead one more time as he currently sits in that third spot in the points chase in the All-Star Circuit of Champions. A white cloth one more time around the 3/8 mile oval for Frankie Kerr out of Fremont, Ohio, piloting that Shop Motorsports number 23. So Joey Saldana out of Brownsburg, Indiana, able to battle back after restarting on the tail of the field. He comes home in that 4th spot. Finishing in that 3rd spot is the 28 car of Tim Kern. 2nd spot will go to Scott Jones in the number 13. And your winner, Frankie Kerr, in the number 23 out of Fremont. Row number 2. Row number 3 are the Jacobs brothers, Dean in the 92, Kenny in the 94. At 4th row, we'll see Rodney Morgan in the 21 and Steve Butler in the 83. 8 laps, 2nd heat. Kenny Jacobs back there in that 94 car, currently sets second in the points chase. The 92 car, Dean currently sets 5th in that points chase. That 121 car of Judy Bates currently 8th. Keep your eyes on that 94 car of Kenny Jacobs, who started 6th. And coming in on lap number 1, the Tim Hughes sponsored machine of Kenny Jacobs has the lead. Takes over that lead in 1 lap coming out of the number 6 hole. Keep an eye on that other 92. That's Dean, his brother. He moves down on the inside of Ed Neumeister, locking up that 4th spot. Starting to reel in Judy Bates in the 121. But up front, it is Kenny Jacobs in the 94. Dawson runs 2nd in the 80. Then it is Judy Bates in the 121. Dean Jacobs in the 92. Neumeister in the 11N. Behind Neumeister, it's John Ivey. And Rodney Morgan and Steve Butler. Halfway point this time. The cross flags indicating 4 down, 4 more to go. Kenny Jacobs on a mission with that 94 car, the Tim Hughes wheel and axle sponsored 94. There's a good battle now between the 80 car of Dawson and Judy Bates on the move in the 121. Dean now puts that number 92 up into the 2nd spot. They got the Jacobs boys up front, and then it's Judy Bates, Bob Dawson, Ed Neumeister, John Ivey, Rodney Morgan. This time it's white flag time, last lap. So your top 4 cars, 5 cars will be moving into the A feature event. Those being your winner in the 94 car, hails out of Holmesville, Ohio, Kenny Jacobs. Finishing 2nd, he hails out of Worcester, Ohio. He drives the 92 car. That was Dean Jacobs finishing 2nd. In that 3rd spot, we'll go to the 121 car of Judy Bates. 4th will go to the 11N of Ed Neumeister. 5th is the 80 car of Bob. Watch him up in turn number 4. You see the line down on the Speedway coming out of 4. That will be the start area for the double file start. The Southwest Glass sponsored heat number 3. Bill Underwood, Rod Pittman up front, Brian Smith and Rob Cheney, Mark Keegan and Keith Kaufman, J.B. Scarborough and Brian Markham. We're underway in heat number 3. your eyes on Mifflintown, Pennsylvania driver Keith Kaufman. He just shot to the lead, got around the Bill Underwood machine and also the Rob Cheney as he started back in 6th. He's repeating just exactly what Kenny Jacobs done on the last heat, going from 6th to 1st. Right now it's Kaufman, Underwood, and it's Cheney in the 42, Mark Keegan in the X, Brian Smith in the black number 2 plus, then it is Pittman in the 28, J.B. Scarrow in the 20, and Brian Markham in the 5. Cheney moving up beside Keegan. Keegan accelerates away from him down the back straightaway into turn number 3. But up front, it's the United Express Line U2 car starting to stretch the lead out over the second place car, Mark Keegan. And it is Cheney runs 3rd, Underwood, Smith, Pittman, J.B. Scarborough, and Brian Markham. Smith trying to move under Bill Underwood on the white flag lap. It's Keith Kaufman, Mark Keegan, Rob Cheney, and Smith and Underwood. Good battle down the front straightaway. Rod Pittman, Underwood off of the pace over in turn number 2. He's off of the racing surface on the back straightaway, but it's checkered flag time. There will be no caution. So Keith Kaufman coming home as the winner. He hails out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, sponsored by the Express Line, United Express Line. Finishing 2nd out of Fremont, Ohio, it was Mark Keegan. Coming home in that 3rd spot, Rob Cheney in the number 42. And it was Brian Smith in the 2 plus. Rod Pittman in the 28, J.B. Scarborough in the 24, and Ryan Markham in the 5. So it's the United Specialties, heat number 4. Look at that beautiful Chevrolet Pace truck, followed by that F-150 out of Village Motors. They'll line up again this way. Marty Ling on the pole and Duffy Smith on the outside. Second row, we'll see George Prosser and Alvin Repke. Row number 3, Kevin the Pup Huntley and Bobby Clark. Row number 4, Dave Shelley in the 86 and Scott Hardman in the 91H. Will be going 8 laps. That was Marty Ling out of Worcester, Ohio, in the number 47, getting turned around on the start, coming out of turn number 4 there at the chalk line. The Tri-City Speedway the next day, May 10th. Both those races are on one tape. I think Dean Jacobs won one of those. Joey Saladano winning the other one. Up at Attica, the Chuck Ward night, the 16th of May, down at Eldora, won by Joey Saladano. And the Spring Nationals up at the Sharon Speedway. So we're back underway in the United Specialties, heat number 4. And there's a battle up front. Here comes Kevin Huntley trying to go down on the inside of George Prosser, but George holds him off. Duffy Smith right in the back of George Prosser. Huntley trying to use the high side this time up into the loose stuff. Bobby Clark on the move along with Alvin Repke. Those are your top 5. 6th place is held down by Shelley. Then it is Ling and Hartman. George Prosser trying to duplicate 1997 when he raced against the All-Star Circuit of Champions. He'd sure like to put this heat win in his record book, but he's got Kevin the Pup Huntley chasing him down the front straightaway. So George Prosser able to hold off Kevin Huntley on lap number 3. They're coming in on 4. The cross flags indicating halfway. Bobby Clark puts the number 8 machine up into 3rd. Then it is Duffy Smith 4th. Alvin Repke runs 5th. Shelley, Ling, and Hardman. But up front, it's still George Prosser coming in on lap number 5. With 6 in the books in heat number 3 in the United Specialty sponsored heat race, George Prosser showing the way around. Kevin Huntley in pursuit, sits in that second spot in the Peterbilt of Northwest Ohio, number 7. Then it's Kieran Speed Shop sponsored number 8 of Bobby Clark, holds down that third spot. 4th is Duffy Smith, 5th is Alvin Repke. That's the final transfer spot. Repke holding down the final transfer spot. Here they come. So the United Specialties, heat number 4. George Prosser out of Mansfield, Ohio in the McIlvain Trucking. There he is. Picking up heat number 4. He duplicated his abilities from last year. Finishing second was Kevin Huntley in the number 7. Then it was Bobby Clark finishing third in the number 8. Duffy Smith was in that 4th place in the 29. Then Ralvin Repke picked up that final transfer spot in the 99. Then it was Dave Shelley, Marty Ling, and Scott Hardman. Only 4 laps for the commercial truck and trailer dash. It'll be the 94 car of Kenny Jacobs will be sitting down on the inside of row number 2. But it is Bobby Clark, Keith Kaufman, Kenny Jacobs, Joey Saudano, as the yellow's going to come out. We did not get a good start. They'll bring them back around and line them up one more time. Saudana, row number 3. We see the 23 car of Frankie Kerr and the 92 of Dean Jacobs. The 94 car of Kenny Jacobs off of the racing surface over in turn number 2. The Hughes axle and wheel sponsored machine off of the racing surface. That will bring out the caution as we get a push truck over to assist the 94 car of Kenny Jacobs. And we're underway, and Keith Kaufman out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, in the United Express Line U2 machine, going to be bringing them around for the first time. It's Kaufman, Joey Saudano, Bobby Clark. Then it is the 92 of Dean Jacobs battling with Frankie Kerr and Kenny Jacobs on the tail. Again, only 4 laps for the 6 fastest qualifiers. Coming in on the white flag lap, it is Keith Kaufman, Joey Saudana, Bobby Clark, Frankie Kerr, Kenny Jacobs, and Dean Jacobs. Next time around, it'll be checkered flag time. Well, Keith, while you're signing those, I remember talking to you here in Victory Lane last year during Speed Week.
Yeah, well, I think we were here once, and probably should have won another one. We were real close. I don't know. It seems like every time we come here, we run pretty good. So it's a place to be.
Yeah, it is a place to be. What about that racing surface tonight, buddy?
Well, the racetrack's real nice. You know, it's smooth, it's fast, it's hard, but it looks like it got the dust down a little bit. So racetrack's always nice when we come here.
Well, we appreciate that. I know you're sitting about in 7th spot in the points chase this year, and I think we're going to see you go forward.
Well, I hope so. These guys, they've been working really hard in this car, and we've been struggling all year. But, you know, Michael does a heck of a job on this thing, so he keeps this thing running.
Yeah, he sure does. And, you know, we always have a little bit of battle between you Pennsylvania people and the Ohio guys. What are you going to do in the feature, you think, here against the Ohio boys like Frankie, Kenny, Dean, those boys?
Well, I hope my Pennsylvania mechanic gets this thing tuned up so we beat their butt.
Okay, now keep alert here. He's going to be sending these up to you here in just a heartbeat. All right, let's see what kind of an arm the Pennsylvania guys got. No! No! Village Motors facing the field. Chad Kimmenaugh and John Ivy up front. Bill Underwood and Marty Ling in that second row. Doug Stanley and Rodney Morgan fill up row number 3. Row number 4, J.B. Scarborough and Dave Shelley. Row 5, Bob Cockrell and Steve Butler. And rounding out the final row, Brian Markham and Scott Hardman. Again, looking for only 4 to transfer. The rest of the gentlemen are done for the night. First time around, we're going to see Fremont, Ohio's John Ivy moving up from the 360s last year into the 410 sprinters with Chad Kimmenaugh running second. Underwood off with the pace on the back straightaway. Problems on the number 11 car. He's off the racing surface trying to limp back into the pit area. But the two top contenders, it is Ivy and Kimmenaugh. Then it is Marty Ling, Rodney Morgan, Doug Stanley, Steve Butler, J.B. Scarborough, Dave Shelley, Bob Cockrell, Brian Markham, and Scott Hardman. And down in turn number 2, the caution flag coming out. Toward that cone on the front straightaway. That is the restart area for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. They're looking them over. It's up to John Ivy and Chad Kimmenaugh, and they're back underway on lap number 4. But Ivy gets an excellent start one more time and holds Kimmenaugh off as Ling puts the 47 car in 3rd spot. And it is Morgan and Stanley, Butler, and Scarborough. Again, only the top 4 right now. Marty Ling sitting on the bubble of the final transfer spot. Across flags, we got 6 down, 6 to go. With 7 laps in the book, it's still Fremont, Ohio. John Ivy in the 5i. Kimmenaugh runs second. Morgan runs third. Ling is back to 4th. Then it is Stanley, Butler, and Scarborough. With 9 laps down, 3 more to go. Fremont, Ohio's John Ivy starting to pull away a little bit from the second place car of Kimmenaugh. Morgan is 3rd, Ling is 4th, Stanley runs 5th. Johnny, you picked up the B main for the Express Line sponsored B main. Looked pretty strong out there, buddy.
Yeah, we had a tire go down in the heat race, so we had to run the B main. This helped us out a little bit. We know what to do now and give us a better shot at the B or the A. Hopefully, we put this Ace Engine, Sonny's Machining, Bogey's Diner up front.
I'll tell you what, the racing surface is just excellent, isn't it? You grabbed a hold of there. You were up and you were down. You could run it anywhere.
Yeah, we was working up and down, trying, seeing where we're going to have to go. We're going to start 14th in the feature, so we're going to have to be able to move around the passing cars. So we'll see what we can do.
Well, your arm just about as good as Keith Kaufman's did a while ago. Had a little bit of problem with the one light. You're starting 14th. That's right, coming out of the B main. And what are you looking forward to? I know you come out of the 360s last year, and you've done a heck of a job this year at this 5i car.
Yeah, we've been pretty good. We kind of struggle a little bit on the slick deal, but we're starting to figure it out. We just want to be competitive, you know, shoot for a top 10 tonight, get a little better each week.
You want to say anything about my house?
I didn't have to stop tonight.
There he is, folks, Fremont, Ohio's John Ivy. As they go for abreast, let's stand up, wave them off, wave your hats, your handkerchiefs, your flags. Beautiful sight. 24 of the finest sprint cars you will see going for abreast. Now up, you people up here in turn number 4 in that pit area, let's stand up in that grandstand area. Let's wave your hats, wave your handkerchiefs, wave your socks, your shoes, wave your wife, pick up your child, wave them. Let's send them off for 40 laps of exciting sprint car racing. There they are, they're waving back. They know you're here. They appreciate you being here. Let's send them off to 40 laps of exciting sprint car racing. Okay, the pace truck pulls into the infield. Any fans out there for Kenny Jacobs? How about Dean Jacobs? Keith Kaufman? Frankie Kerr? Here we go. We're off. 40 laps of sprint car racing. And first time around, he started back in that 4th spot. He was tonight's fastest qualifier out of Brownsburg, Indiana. Joey Saldana taking it to him as the 99 car of Alvin Repke. The 99 of Repke going to be bringing out the first caution flag of the evening. Alvin Repke out of Elmore, Ohio in the 99 machine, bringing out the first yellow. And got turned around. See the action on the acceleration. Watch the front ends of those high-powered 410 cubic inch sprinters running on that alcohol. On the acceleration, they'll bring that front end right up off the ground. And I don't think that that's going to be a good start. As Saldana getting a pretty good jump there on the start. He accelerated. Joey Saldana getting a jump coming out of turn 4. The restart is at the cone. So they'll look him over coming out of turn 4. The starting point is in front of the flag stand at the cone. The flag's cone is the starting place. Joey Saldana now accelerates. We're back underway. 39 more racing laps for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. He was the fastest qualifier as Alvin Repke in the 99 is out on lap number 3. Alvin Repke back into the pits as we got a couple of them turned around down here in turn number 1. We'll get the car numbers in just a minute here as the red flag comes out as they took a pretty good hit down, and I believe we have the emergency squad right down there right away to check out those drivers. As soon as we get a word from that scene, we'll pass that along with you. Then it'll be the 15 of Kavanaugh, the 5i of John Ivy. Clark trying to get up to the side. The 17 of Saldano over in turn number 2, but Saldano has nothing to do with it. Bobby chasing him out of turn 4, and it's Kaufman, Jacobs, Kerr, Jacobs, and Huntley. Keith Kaufman, a one-time winner here in '97 during the Speed Week venue on a Monday night, would like to make it 2 in a row here at Wayne County Speedway. Kaufman is starting to reel in the second place car of Bobby Clark, but up front, Joey Saldano starting to stretch the lead out over the second place car of Bobby Clark. Then it is Kaufman, Jacobs, Kerr, Jacobs, and Huntley. Kaufman now trying to pick up that second spot away from Bobby Clark in the number 8, as Kaufman giving him all kind of trouble as the 17 of Saldano working through the lap traffic. Marty Ling in the 47 and the number 80 car, as Keith Kaufman also going to have to be battling that lap traffic here in a minute. Kaufman gets around the number 80 machine. Now Jacobs goes to the high side, so does Frankie Kerr. As Matt Lamborn in the 93 on lap number 12 pulls into the infield. But that Mox Motorsports number 17 car showing the way around. Keith Kaufman takes over second spot from Bobby Clark. He's going to try now to reel in the 17 of Joey Saldano. It's Saldano, Keith Kaufman, Bobby Clark, Kenny Jacobs. Then it is Frankie Kerr. The 47 car is a lap car. Then it is Dean Jacobs in the 92. Kevin Huntley in the number 7. Now the 99 car of Alvin Repke into the infield on lap number 14 with mechanical problems on his ride. Joey Saldano starting in that 4 spot after being inverted. 4 spots being the tonight's fastest qualifier. Moving into more lap traffic as he comes out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. He gets around the number 21 car. Keith Kaufman now working lap traffic as Bobby Clark still holds down third. Kenny Jacobs in the 94. Frankie Kerr. And it is Dean Jacobs, Kevin Huntley, Mark Keegan, Chad Kavanaugh. Look at Jacobs now coming on Bobby Clark, coming out of turn number 4. He's trying to find his way around the number 8 machine. That's giving the Mox machine of Saldano and the Express Line U2 car of Keith Kaufman somewhat at an advantage as they try to pull away. They're running 3, hunting that third running spot, that being Frankie Kerr, Bobby Clark, and Kenny Jacobs, all battling for that third running spot behind Keith Kaufman. Now Jacobs takes over that third spot, that fourth spot from Bobby Clark as we have 20 laps in the books. We are halfway home, 20 laps completed. Joey Saldano on a mission with Keith Kaufman in that second running spot. Then it is Frankie Kerr running third. Kenny Jacobs runs fourth in the 94. Bobby Clark back to fifth. Dean Jacobs in that sixth spot. Seventh is Kevin Huntley. Eighth is Mark Keegan. Ninth is Kimmel in the number 15. 22 laps have been completed. 8 more remaining. Joey Saldano looking for that $4,000 payday here at the Prime Star Wayne County Speedway, as now he's coming in on some more lap traffic, being Rod Pittman in the 28 car. Kaufman now trying to get around Tim Kern in the number 28. Kaufman gets around the lap car of Tim Kern, but he's got about a half a straightaway to make up over the second place car of Joey Saldano. There's Saldano completing lap number 25. Then it is Keith Kaufman in that U2 machine. Frankie Kerr coming in the number 23. Then it is Kenny Jacobs in the 94. Joey Saldano just recorded lap number 27. Keith Kaufman in the U2 just completed his 27th lap. He's about a 3/4 of a straightaway behind the second lead car. Then Frankie Kerr has put his 23 machine up there as we have one spun over in turn number 2 on lap number 28. But Joey Saldano on a mission in that number 17 car. Holds down that 4th spot. But I don't know that that's going to be a good start, but it looks like they are taking that. Bobby Clark moving into 5th in that number 8. Then it is the 92 car of Dean Jacobs. Joey Saldano able to re-accelerate on the restart on lap number 27 as Keith Kaufman now has to battle Scott Jones in that lap traffic. Kaufman acts like maybe tires gone away on the U2 car. I believe that is the number 92 car out of Worcester, Ohio of Dean Jacobs with problems on the 92 machine, sitting up in turn number 4 by the pit exit. Bobby Clark, Kevin Huntley, Mark Keegan, and Chad Kimmel, and John Ivey. Those other cars that are in between are lap cars. And the green is out again on lap number 30. 10 more to go as we get restarted after the caution for the 92 of Dean Jacobs. Coming in on lap number 32, there's your leader, Joey Saldana. Keith Kaufman, Frankie Kerr, Kenny Jacobs. Then it is Bobby Clark, Kevin Huntley, and Chad Kivenall, and Mark Keegan. Dean Jacobs trying to work his way back up into the field in the number 92 car as he battled back from a flat tire on the number 92. Frankie Kerr now trying to reel in Keith Kaufman as the 5-lap signal is given to your lead car of Joey Saldana. Frankie Kerr working on Keith Kaufman for that second spot. Frankie Kerr started back in 5th spot, got the number 23 up into the 3rd running spot. He wants that 2nd spot, and he tries the high side. He tries the low side. Frankie Kerr up on the cushion. Keith Kaufman outpowers him down the back straightaway. Frankie now trying to reel in Kaufman down the front straightaway. We got about 4 laps to go. Up front it is still the Mox Motorsports number 17, Joey Saldana, your leader after 37. Frankie Kerr working all over Keith Kaufman. Just cannot make the pass. He's sitting in that 3rd running spot. Kenny Jacobs runs 4th. Bobby Clark is 5th. Kevin Huntley is 6th. Mark Keegan is 7th. Kevin All is 8th. John Ivy is 9th. Joey, this is your 3rd feature win in a row. Well, how's it feel, buddy?
I tell you what, I think luckily I got past them guys in the first lap because I'm sure this place would have been tough to pass.
Well, you done a tremendous job, Joey. You started in that 4th spot, having that 4th, pulling that 4th pill out for the inversion. It didn't take you long to go from 4th to 1st.
No, I tell you what, Bobby Clark, I think he was trying to make sure he had the lead on the first lap, and if I think he would have just slowed down and been patient, he probably would have won this thing because it was tough to pass. He just went in on the bottom a little too hard and slid up, and Kaufman had to get on the brakes, so I just put it right between them guys, and you know, I may have moved Bobby out a little bit, but I knew it was going to be tough to pass, so I knew I had to lead at least the first lap if I had a chance.
Well, you definitely had a chance, and you wasn't too happy when we pulled that inversion. You said, well, I always get a number like this, and it became a lucky number tonight, Joey.
Well, actually, I usually draw an 8, so the 4 was pretty unusual for me, and I don't know, this is the first time I had fast time this year and won, and it feels pretty good because I was thinking every time I had fast time I wasn't going to do very good. But I got to thank Steve Mox for providing me an excellent race car, Darrell Tate, Steven and Kathy, they work real hard for me. And I got to thank a lady in Milpitas, California, Donna Gomez, taking care of me a couple years ago in California. And I needed to thank her a long time ago, and this is a good time to thank her.
Well, you got 3 in a row. I know you go up to Flag City tomorrow, down to KC on Monday, then head out to the Dakotas on Thursday. What's your feeling about the next 3?
Well, I've always run pretty good there in the past, but these guys are tough. I mean, we were chasing our car all night, and we got it going pretty good in the dash, and we tightened it up a little more for the feature. And it's just, anybody can win these races. It just so happens we're lucky enough to win tonight.
Well, I don't think you're lucky. I'd say you drove an admirable race. Used every part of the racetrack to get through that lap traffic. What was the racing surface like, Joey?
Actually, I don't know what they did this year, but it sure wasn't as dusty as usual. I mean, you could see cars in front of you, and I mean, it's really good. And I don't know, whatever. Just
There he is, folks, your winner of the 40-lap All-Star Circuit of Champions, Mr. Joey Saldana. So Joey Saldana picking up the 3rd annual Pete Jacobs Memorial Trophy. In there with him is his crew and Mr. Harold Detillion, the owner here at Wayne County Speedway. Joey Saldana from Brownsburg, Indiana. Well, down here also is Keith Kaufman, who came home in 2nd place in that U2 car. Keith, you almost done it again.
Well, almost don't count. Joey, he was really good tonight. You know, he got a good start. You know, I don't know whether we had the right tire on or not, but he was just quicker, so he deserves the win.
Well, he deserves the win, but you've done an admirable job. Congratulations, finishing 2nd in the 3rd annual Pete Jacobs Memorial.
Okay, thank you.
And folks, here he is, the number 23 car out of Fremont, Ohio. He started 5th. He was the 97 All-Star champion. Here he is, Mr. Frankie Kerr. Frankie, congratulations, my man.
Thanks. You know, we started 5th there. It took us quite a while to get going. And we really got going there in about the middle of the race, and our motor took a crap. I'm not really sure what happened. It's running on about 6 cylinders, so I'm just happy to run 3rd.
Yeah, I heard it as you pulled up here and started to stop on the speedway there. It had some burps in it.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's wrong. It ran fine last night and most of the night tonight, but you know, the track is in great shape for Buckeye. They're doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, Harold and his group has really put a concentrated effort onto the racing surface. Like Joey said, the last time he was here, it was kind of dusty. Beautiful surface tonight, just excellent. Every driver that we've talked to loves it.
Yeah, it was you know, way better than it's ever been, and I got to hand it to them. They did a heck of a job, and maybe more people come back now.
We hope so. There they are, folks. Your winner, Joey Saldana in the number 17. Finishing 2nd out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, Keith Kaufman. And 3rd place finisher out of Fremont, Ohio, Frankie Kerr.